Right now in the US, from the folks who I've spoken with in law enforcement and also at the relevant regulatory agencies, there is awareness of these new technologies. There are some concerns because for the last few years, these regulators and officers of law enforcement have become comfortable with the Bitcoin blockchain and have learned how to do investigations using the Bitcoin blockchain, and are concerned that without the full transparency of the Bitcoin blockchain, it'll be harder to do their job. But that said, these are just new concerns, and I have not seen or heard of anyone calling specifically for heavy-handed regulation in the way that you have in some other countries around the world for a ban or anything like that, or even for direct regulation of those who do protocol development in these technologies. And Coin Center would, of course, be against any kind of ban or direct regulation, and it would, of course, be a huge detriment to people who want to build these technologies in the United States. But I don't think any of that is anywhere on the near horizon. And I think there's a good case to be made that the best way forward for both regulators and for the technology is to continue focusing on the intermediaries, is to continue focusing on the gateways between dollars and the cryptocurrency. And those gateways aren't going away anytime soon. So there's been a rise in talk about decentralized exchanges, but I don't think you're going to see a decentralized exchange that can handle dollars anytime soon. And I also don't think you're anytime soon going to have an all cryptocurrency economy. And so people will be going back and forth between dollars and cryptocurrency. And that intermediary that facilitates that transaction is the one upon whom it's reasonable to put Bank Secrecy Act and financial surveillance obligations. And I think it will still give law enforcement the tools necessary to find people who are using these technologies for dangerous or illicit purposes. And the DFS announcement with respect to allowing Gemini to trade Zcash, I think, echoes that sentiment or represents that sentiment. We still can achieve our regulatory objectives even in a world where we have privacy on the blockchain. And that's great, because that means we can still have technologies that are innately protective of innocent users. You know, Bitcoin is not actually innately protective of innocent users. It says, you may be innocent, you may have nothing to hide, but the default transaction is going to reveal every detail about you to the public. And there's work to change that on Bitcoin. Zcash is more innately protective because you can always choose to make a shielded transaction. So it's good that regulators recognize the value of that and understand that while it carries some risks or maybe changes the way that we have to think about investigations or anti-money laundering compliance, that those challenges or changes are surmountable and that there's a way forward both for the technology and for law enforcement and government.